Roxanne Gallagher.
I'm Dr. Sabrina Walters.
My name is Gina Panafti.
My name is Cindy Hill.
Hi, my name is Kay Kelly.
Melissa Smith, Executive Director for the York County SPCA.
And I'm owner of Miss Lucy's Dog Treats. I've been in business almost 9 years. I make homemade, all-natural dog treats.
I've been a small animal veterinarian since 2000.
The pet shop. We've been in business for 8 years.
I teach dog obedience classes here at the pet shop in Shrewsbury.
And I am a volunteer and a part-time staff at the York County SPCA.
Animal care consists of your pet's diet, exercise, shelter, and regular checkups by the vet so that your pets are in good health and are also happy. A pet's diet, whether it be a dog or a cat, should not only consist of store-bought dog or cat food, but also fruits and vegetables as well. This allows them to be more active and healthier than usual. How often should your pet eat?
Twice a day.
Okay.
Morning and evening.
What should be in your pet's diet?
Dogs need fruits and vegetables the same as what we do, and a lot of the commercial pet foods that are loaded with preservatives don't have all the fruits and vegetables in it.
And how often should you give a pet a treat?
That would depend on their diet and the type of dog. Obviously a larger dog, even if it's overweight, can still have treats. You just need to take some of their food from them so they can still have the treats in their diet. But there's also low-fat treats.
Right. What should your dogs not eat?
Chocolate is the most obvious one, and there's a substitute for that. It's called carob. Carob's made from a locust bean, not a cocoa bean, so it's perfectly safe for dogs. It's safe for people that have food allergies to chocolate. And then we also have a white, which tastes like white chocolate, but it's actually made from yogurt, and we also have a peanut butter candy. Dogs also can't have macadamia nuts. They can't have onions, raisins, grapes. And they become toxic to the dogs, and they can actually kill them. And I almost lost my large pit bull, who's about 90 pounds, to eating one chocolate whoopie pie. It takes a very small amount of baking chocolate to kill a dog.
When giving food to your pet, be sure to also give them plenty of water. Dogs, cats, and other animals should have water available for them for almost the entire day. Hydration is important, and it's what your pet needs. Exercise is another important factor in your pet's health because it allows them to use their energy and it also keeps them healthy. If pets don't get the exercise they need, they could become bored and not want to do anything. Getting exercise for your pet could be as much as letting them run through an obstacle course or just playing with them in the backyard and taking a nice walk. Lastly, regular checkups by the vet is crucial. When at the vet, your pet has the ability to be checked for fleas and ticks, get vaccinations, and check for their general health and well-being. How would you get rid of ticks?
So if you find a tick on your pet, the best thing is to grab it with a tissue or a tweezer and just gently pull it off. If you're trying to prevent your pet from getting ticks, the best thing to use would be one of the topical flea and tick medications. So there are a lot of different ones that are available. They basically get put on the skin and they prevent the ticks from biting.
The best thing I tell people to do is, number one, for fleas, if you see black specks on your dogs or cat, it's the flea dirt. You might not necessarily see the flea, but you're going to see the dirt before you actually see the flea. The fleas are like little bugs, and they will jump, and they will jump. If I'm a dog, onto you, and you can get them. They won't stay on you. What I tell people to do is lay out a white towel, and put your animal on a white towel, just take a brush and brush them, and you're going to see the fleas jump, or you'll see the flea dirt fall off. The best thing to do is get flea shampoo right away because it will get in your mom and dad's carpet and it causes a big mess. For ticks, you always want to check, just like you check your head when you go out in the field, the wood. Just check your dog over. Just check them, especially around his neck and around his tail and his leg because they like to hide in those spots.
How often should you take your dog or cat to see the veterinarian?
at least once a year. Some pets, as they get older, actually should come in twice a year, so every 6 to 12 months.
What's the best way to keep a dog and cat's teeth clean?
The best way is to actually brush the teeth at home. That's not always easy to do, but some pets will let you use a small finger brush. It's a little brush that kind of fits over your fingertip, and you can just kind of stick your finger between the teeth and the cheek and scrub the teeth. You can also use a soft bristle toothbrush. If the pets will let you brush their teeth every day, that's the best way to keep them clean. If you can't brush their teeth, you can use an oral rinse, kind of like a mouthwash, or they have products that you can put in the drinking water to reduce plaque in the mouth. And of course, we do offer professional dental cleanings where the pets are sedated so that we can get all the tartar off the teeth and clean them up.
What is a vaccination?
So a vaccination is basically we're trying to prevent a disease or illness, usually a virus, sometimes a bacteria. Basically we're injecting the pet with either a part of that bacteria or virus to make their immune system recognize that virus, so if they see it again, their immune system will mount a response and they won't get sick. Sometimes what's called a modified live vaccine is used, so it is actually part of, or it is the virus, but it's been changed in some way or killed off so that we're not giving them the illness, but we're again trying to produce an immune response.
How often should they receive these shots?
Most vaccines are given once a year. Some are given every 3 years, so it depends on the vaccine that's used, the type, as well as sometimes whether there are any problems with the pet or whether the owner wishes to do a different protocol. We do sometimes honor that, but typically they're yearly.
What are the basic commands a pet should know?
Well, probably it would be a good idea for every pet to know come and down and stay and how to walk on a leash. Because pretty much all those things and variations of those things will help you in your everyday life to have a well-behaved pet.
Why is it important to train your pet?
It's important because you need to have a well-behaved pet for their own safety, and also because it's just kind of like having a well-behaved child. Nobody wants to take out a child.
A way to reward or discipline your pet?
Well, probably the best way to reward a pet is either to praise them or you can reward them with food. When we're starting to train, we usually start working with food a little bit and then kind of wean off of that and use praise.
Okay.
The most common signs of animal abuse that we see here at the shelter are the physical obvious signs. An animal that is very underweight or may come in with injuries from some sort of a beating. But then of course there's the psychological signs as well. Animals that come in that are very afraid of people. They're very head shy or hand shy, which indicates to us that they may have been struck by a person. But certainly the biggest sign that we see is malnourished animals.
What are the most common animals that are abused?
Well, the most calls that we receive here are for dogs and cats, but we also we investigate any domestic animal here. So we get calls about rabbits and guinea pigs, horses. We are currently caring for over 15 horses that have been abused off-site, so it's really any domestic animal. But I would say probably dogs first, and then cats second, then rabbits, and then horses.
Wow. How can you prevent animal abuse?
Well, I would say first and foremost our community needs to be aware that people are the voices for the animals that cannot speak for themselves. So if someone sees something that, maybe they're not even sure about, maybe it is abuse, maybe it isn't, it's always best to make the call. Keep your eyes open when you're out driving around, looking for outdoor animals that might not be cared for. If you hear of an animal that's not being cared for and even have not seen it for yourself but are just hearing about it, always make the call to us so that we can make a judgment call on that. Because, it's the calls that we don't get that worry me the most.
What is the purpose of the youth group?
The youth group was set up for teenagers from 13 to 17 so that they could experience being at an animal shelter and working with animals. Until you're 18 years old here at the shelter, for insurance reasons, you have to be 18 to individually volunteer.
How does the youth group help the community?
Our youth group helps in lots of ways. One of the major things we do is we pack dog and cat food every month for senior citizens through Meals on Wheels.
What kind of activities do the youth group participate in?
The youth group does anything they're asked to do by the shelter, including help with events that the shelter is putting on. When they're here, our boys do some maintenance work and some cleanup. They also have their own fundraisers for the shelter. Everything is geared around the needs of
What age can you join the youth group?
You have to be 13 years old, between 13 and 17. You can come in at any time during those years. And also the benefit of our group is that students looking for service hours for National Honor Society or perhaps their church, every hour they spend here with us counts as a
What do you want
service
young
hour.
people to know about animals?
Well, the first thing I want them to know is to be compassionate. Think about an animal as you would think about your own child or your own brother or sister. Have the compassion to understand that their needs are real, that they feel emotion, and that as people we need to do for the animals as God intended us to do.
And how did you get involved with educating people about animals?
Well, I came in the shelter one day and I said, "Do you need any help?" And that was all it took. I'm here now, at least 8 years, and I've been employed for 5, and I have an interest in young people anyway. I've had Girl Scouting for 24 years in my past, and I always liked to be around young people, and there was a need here for this group. So the way it started is my granddaughter was doing a gold award project for Girl Scouting, and she chose to create the organization we now have as our youth group. And we started out in Gander Mountain's back break room, and we had so many kids come out that we had to move to a larger place. When this facility was finally finished and we moved in, that's when our youth groups started here, and it's been going now for at least